Round two, me and Dan ice fishing. We found a cool spot and they have way bigger shiners than what we've been running before. We got ourselves some stinky shiner bait for these traps I rigged up. We're gonna set ourselves some burbot traps tonight after we're finished fishing, and we're gonna come check them in the morning. So, all right, we're gonna cut some holes. We just finished setting up our 2 allowed traps, and so now we're gonna take a seat, have a coffee, and try and see if we can't figure out how to rig up these burbot traps. All right, so my buddy Dan's rigging up our burbot traps, and we're gonna put some line on these guys so it's easy. We're gonna do an arbor knot around one of the 308 casings here, and then we'll go back and forth with our line, and then we'll set this as kind of as a guide to the center of the hole for our line. We're just gonna be using some I forget what it's called, can't remember if it's mono or fluorocarbon, but we got like 2,000 yards of it, so that's what we're going to use instead of using tip-up line, so we don't have to break the bank. And we'll set them overnight after we label them with our address and everything, and hopefully we'll catch some fish on them. We'll probably drill the 12 holes now, set them, and then check them before we leave and rebait them if the bait gets taken off, and we'll see if we can catch a burbot. Sound good, Dan?
Sounds good.
All right.
See my thumb moving?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's on there. Dan just got the first strike of the day here. We were just talking about moving our spot, and look what happens.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, man, he fighting. He not happy. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, jeez, dude, that looks big. Oh, Mike. Oh, that's huge.
Oh, what a beaut! Dan.
Holy jeez.
Oh, he's got to be at least
20?
Yeah.
All right, guy.
Back into the drink. Nice job, dude.
That was awesome. Letting these bad boys warm up now.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we're not moving our spot.
It froze into it.
Oh, did it?
This is why we don't run away, Mike. No, we gotta run across the lake.
Dude, I think that's your trap.
Oh, again?
I hope not.
No, that's your trap.
Oh, yeah.
You better get moving those long legs.
Oh, God.
Whew.
Oh my God, spooled the whole thing.
Man, look what it is. Oh, nice.
Well, we caught 2 lake trout so far, threw them both back. We moved some of the traps around to a spot that we think is a little bit more productive than... Alrighty, so we don't have sonar because this is our first year getting into ice fishing, so we're going to use one of these little tiny Northland hotspot weights. What you can do is you can take your rod, loosen up the slack, and then pull out 12 inches at a time, count it, figure out what the depth of your hole is. If you're jigging with a lure, it's good to pound the bottom sometimes because the fish like that. It kind of gets their attention if they're in your area. So we just counted off two new holes that we just drilled over here, and they're reading close to 30 feet. And we had a fellow over here, you can see that buoy kind of right over there, was telling us that it was 8 feet somewhere in this area. So we just want to be super sure. How many feet got, Dan? 18 feet. So you can tell there's been an 11-foot difference in probably 20 yards of walking over here. So just a good little factoid. We'll do another hole. All right, so we've probably been out here close to 8 hours now. 23 degrees outside here in this freezer Fahrenheit for you European folk. We walked probably a quarter of a mile, maybe half a mile, set new traps, but nothing's going on. About 35 feet deep over here. We're set probably 25 feet each of these traps down. I think we're gonna get pretty close to calling it a day. Go get us some dinner. All right, so I'll let you know if anything changes. So Dan and I made the executive decision to not throw out the burbot traps because we gotta work tomorrow and we won't have time to come out here and chip them out. Only 2 fish, but a lot of hard fishing. It was a good day, right? Yeah. Dan got a really nice lake trout. I caught a smaller one. That was pretty good. We moved around a lot, checking depths. This place is deep, super deep, 150 feet in some areas in the middle of the lake. So we'll probably, we're gonna try and do some bass ice fishing. So we're gonna find a couple little ponds and hop around those later in the week. So, all right, cool.